My name is John Cisna, and I'm a junior and senior high science teacher at Colonesco High School here in Colo, Iowa. One of the alarming statistics that's risen its ugly head in this country is that of obesity and weight problems. In the United States alone, 2 out of every 3 people are considered to be overweight. And what's even more alarming is that 1 out of every 3 people in the United States is considered obese. We need to first understand what the factors are that are causing this problem. A lot of them are uncontrollables, such as genetics, but several are very controllable, such as what you eat, where you eat, and how you eat. So that is what we're going to be looking at in this little experiment that we're running with 3 of our individuals from our sophomore biology class. In an effort to identify these variables, we are going to do an experiment. And in this experiment, we are going to use one of the most recognizable names probably on the planet in restaurants, that of McDonald's. Who better to use in this experiment as somebody who basically contributes to the data of being overweight? Me. So we are going to try to replicate the Super Size Me documentary that was done, only do it exactly opposite in the way it was done several years ago. Instead of starting with somebody that is in shape, that is exercising, whose blood work is very good, we're going to start from the other end of the spectrum. Voila, Mr. Cisna.
These are my physical stats from day 1, which will include my weight, my chest, my stomach, and my hips. I will be eating 2,000 calories a day, so I would expect those figures would drop. But the big figures to look at are going to be the blood work. Here is where my blood work started out, which includes the cholesterol, the triglycerides, the LDL, and the cholesterol to HDL ratio. I made arrangements with Joe and his crews at the local McDonald's, which is about 5 minutes from school. Each day I stop in on my way to school and pick up both my breakfast and lunch. Then on my way home, I stop to pick up dinner, and usually in that part of my day, reading the newspaper while I enjoy my McDonald's. The nutritional part was pretty easy, but the exercise, that was a horse of a different color. As you can see here, the first day didn't start off quite as well as I hoped it would.
Well, I tell you what, my mind says yes, my body says holy buckets Batman. Didn't quite make it the 45 minutes, made it 30 minutes, but this is kind of tough carrying this kind of weight around. I did make it 1.5 miles though, so 1.5 miles in 30 minutes, that's about a 3-minute mile pace. I have no doubt I'm going to have to warm up tomorrow morning just to get out of bed.
So now we've come to what everybody's been waiting for, the tail of the tape. What does the empirical data tell us of what can happen of 90 days of eating nothing but breakfast, lunch, and dinner at McDonald's? Well, here it is. My cholesterol started at 249 and ended at 170 for a 32% decrease. My triglycerides started at 156 and ended at 80 for a 49% decrease. My LDL started at 170 and ended at 113 for a 34% decrease. And finally, my cholesterol to HDL ratio started at 5.19 and ended at 4.15. But what about the external figures? Well, those were pretty impressive as well. Let's take a look. My weight started at 280 and ended at 243 for a 37-pound weight loss. My chest was at 48.5 inches, ended at 44 inches for a 4.5-inch loss. My hips started at 49, ended at 45 for a 4-inch loss. And finally, my stomach started at 51 inches, ended at 44, and I lost 7 inches. Some people have a hard time understanding numbers on a piece of paper of what it really means. They have to actually see what those numbers mean in order to relate. So we took pictures before the experiment as well as after the experiment. But I warn you, if you haven't eaten, you may want to turn your face from the screen. Here is the before picture. Whoa! I think this video just took an R rating due to disturbing images. Let's get Moby Dick back in the water and see what he looked like 90 days later. That's a little better. That's what it looks like when you lose 37 pounds.